Okay, I'm here in Shibadong village, located in the remote mountainous rural area in central China's Hunan province. Unusual significance has been attached to this place because, for one thing, this year marks the deadline for China to eliminate the absolute poverty, and for the other, Shibadong village is exactly where the idea of targeted poverty alleviation was proposed in the first place in 2013. So it is in a stark contrast to the one-size-fits-all approach China had been adopted in the previous few decades. Because this kind of targeted measure will be addressing the various causes for penury in different locations in China, depending on the various circumstances. And take Shibadong village as an example. It is really landlocked and inaccessible. To put into perspective, I came here yesterday from Beijing. It took me like a 7-hour train ride from Beijing to Changsha, the provincial capital of Hunan, and then another 6-hour drive from Changsha to Shibadong village. So as you can see, if you want to develop the economy, in places like this, you're gonna need a lot of local infrastructures like the paved road or the power grids or the clean water, etc. So that is gonna take the efforts or the resources of the entire nation together here for a targeted measure to strike at the very heart of the poverty problem. Okay, the targeted measures include the cultivation of local industries and the ecological employment, the safety net for the education or the medical treatment, and also the relocation from the uninhabitable places. So if you take a look at the Shibadong village here, the most important measure will be like cultivating the local industries for the agricultural product, that is the kiwi, and there are also the tourism businesses. You can see a lot of the home inns and restaurants. So the infrastructure has long been a weakness in rural development. With the goal of building a beautiful or livable village, Shibadong has been vigorously promoting ethnic folk customs throughout the construction. And like the improvement of the roads, drinking water, the power grids, residential buildings or landscape, tourism facilities, and public service facilities in the village have all completely transformed the original situation. Doing away with the traffic jams and the shabby cottages and the degraded environment. So back in 2013, the per capita income of some 940 villagers in Shibadong was only like 1,600 yuan. That is approximately less than $200 US. Well, with 57% of the population living below the poverty line. And in 2017, Shibadong officially get rid of the poverty, being crossed off the poverty list. But in 2018, the village's per capita disposable income stood at 12,000 yuan. That's approximately $2,000 US. So it is a big rise than before. Okay, as you can see that tourism is booming in this small town, small and unimpressive little village. As many as 400,000 tourists actually visit this place every year. So I'm going to visit this restaurant here and take a look at what they're actually doing because it is lunchtime. So let's go to this kitchen to find out. 哎，你好。
你好。
你这是在做什么呢？
这个在炒菜。
炒 烤炭。哦，这炒的是火锅。Oh, this is for the material for the hot pot. You can see there are a lot of local cuisines, including the smoked salted pork. That is a very famous delicacy for the local Miao ethnic groups, because the Shibadong village is mainly populated by the Miao ethnic. That is like the third or the fourth largest ethnic minorities in China. And 你这炒的什么菜啊？
炒那个我这个一个胡瓜。
胡瓜。
对。
I think it's something like a zucchini or something. Or take a look this way. That is some of the dish that have been finished here. 可以拉近点 take a closer look. That is like the chicken and the tofu, and it's really spicy because the Hunan province, the people in Hunan are known for their tolerance for spicy food, and this one in particular, spicy. So a lot of the villagers, they changed their career from farmers to actually entrepreneurs, managing their own home inns or restaurants. And you can see the businesses is really, really good. So in view of these local conditions, the village has decided on several major industries, like rural tourism, embroidery, crop cultivation, livestock breeding, and bottling water. Kiwi food is a suitable crop for the local environment, but the limited arable land and the scattered distribution of the village limited business growth. So Shibadong rented land and built sprawling plantation of high quality kiwi food in nearby villages and towns, and companies were set up to sell the produce they grew directly to the market. So tourism is booming in the village thanks to its unique Miao culture, special landscape, as well as improved facilities. So a lot of villagers are actually operating restaurants and running inns, while others are working as tour guides and shuttle bus drivers. So there are actually a lot of tourism-related employment. Okay, so before we're getting into our lunch, I think we can go to another place, which is an embroidery workshop that is also an epitome for the encouragement of local industry here. So let's go find out. So we've been talking about the booming industry here. The industry had been cultivated through the concerted efforts from the upstream authorities, governments, and also the companies and enterprises. But also how to, I think the big question is there's a possible outcome of this kind of development, because the local culture and tradition might be compromised because of this kind of a modernized way of developing the economy. But I think Shibadong village has, I think they have found a way out, kind of a new possibility of making these two factors compatible. So I'm just walking into a Miao embroidery workshop to see how the traditional part of this village has been incorporated into their economic development. 您这边是在绣一个什么东西啊？
我这个是绣围裙的，这个上面这个。
哦。这是腰带是吗？
这是腰带，就是绣这个。
It's like, so she's sewing a belt. Basically, that is like the most most exotic way of showing how they actually right. It's very, very delicate. 你这个绣一个要花多长时间？
这个要15天，半个月。
15天半个月。
就是15天嘛，就是半个月嘛，半个月就可以绣完这个作品。
So this single belt is going to take like half of a month for her to sew. So it's very, very time-consuming, labor-consuming. But at the same time, this is also an example of how this tourism is swarming here and buying stuff out of their traditional culture. So let's take a closer look to their commodities inside the shop. Those ones are for sale, and I think, yeah, each one of them is sold at like 200 to 300 RMB yuan. So that is like roughly 50 to 60 US dollars. So it's kind of still at a very reasonable price, quite a bargain for a visitor, because there are like 400,000 to 600,000 visitors coming here every year. So that is going to be a huge income source for the local villagers. As it is, very traditional apparel for the Miao ethnic minorities. Embroidery is an art that spans many different cultures, places, and times. From medieval Europe to rural China, the ability to create fine embroidery was for like many years seen as the most prized skill a woman could possess. So the Miao ethnic group of China produced some of the most intricate and beautiful embroidery in the world. Miao embroidery involves several different, unique, and complex stitches that give it a special look, very, very different from the traditional Han Chinese embroidery. As is the case in many cultures for the Miao, embroidery is seen as a woman's art form. Young Miao girls will begin to learn how to embroider around the age of 6 or 7, with the goal of perfecting their art by the time they are 16 or 17. And then they will begin the work on the most important piece of embroidery she will ever produce, her wedding dress. So this is kind of a piece of art that has a long tradition and can amount to some kind of a cream of the civilization, cream of the local culture and practices. So this is so much for Shibadong village, where the nationwide policy of targeted poverty alleviation was originated. Here we have this beautiful scenery, very rich culture, and lovely people. I'm very glad that this village was lifted out of poverty in 2017. And just as many, many other places in other parts of China are striving to improve the welfare of their people in their reach for a better future and better life.
We imagine what it has taken for the party and government to oversee the largest exit from poverty by the largest number of people in the shortest period of all human history. This is outstanding, this is momentous, this is epochal, and this is instructive. And it is only gratifying that the Communist Party, had fulfilled its pledge under the very, very foresighted, focused leadership of President Xi Jinping. So it is a tough battle. It is easier said than done, but it is a promise kept. It is a promise made and a promise kept.